Kind of surprised you don't have like a Russell Crowe shirt
Why would I have a Russell Crowe shirt?
because you used to be a big fan of this film.
No, I wasn't.
I thought you were. You had. Don't you have like the DVD?
I had
And
the
it,
DVD. I had the soundtrack, but I was not really a big fan of it. You know what? I was more a fan of the music
uh
than the movie overall.
Really?
But yeah, but after watching it again, it still holds true. But I appreciate this movie more.
Okay.
Currently on Rotten Tomatoes, it is still scored at 80% by the critics and 87% by the audience. This is Gladiator, not the one to be confused with Cuba Gooding Jr. Yeah, Cuba Gooding Jr. and Brian Dennehy.
Is it a Gladiator film?
They did a Gladiator film, but it's about boxers.
Oh, did not even know.
Welcome back to Tales of Two Bros. My name is Angel.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Wait a minute, I thought your name was Adan. I thought.
Amadan. I just had to do that line. It's like one of the most famous lines of the movie.
Oh, definitely. Where we give you a review at least once a week. Spoiler alert. So this came out in 2000. It rocked hard. It took the theater by storm. It took the world by storm. Directed by Ridley Scott. You have here, again, Russell Crowe as the star. You have the late Oliver Reed. You have the late Rex Harris in it. Joaquin Phoenix. You have, what's her name from Wonder Woman? The mother?
Connie
I don't
Nielsen.
remember. Like I said in our cold opening, the music score was amazing here. And I was like taken back. I was like, it took me back, watching this movie, listening to the music. I was like, holy cow. It kind of reminded me of, for some reason, like Enya music and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Before the Pirates. But yeah, I know what you mean. I get what you the vibe.
Yeah. And it's by Hans Zimmer, who did the music for Wonder Woman.
You do love Hans Zimmer.
I do love Hans Zimmer. Yeah, he's really good. He has a really good touch. Gladiator 2 is coming out. By the time this review is posted, it will be out or about to be out. It takes place, of course, after it, because Gladiator 2 was supposed to be a prequel.
Okay.
This has been in the works for Gladiator 2, that is, has been in the works for a long time. And Russell Crowe is like, I'm dead. How do I come back? I was like, I'm dead. As we're making a prequel, so I'm not going to lose weight. I'm not going to get back into my shape. So, but anyway, Gladiator 2, I'm very interested in seeing what they're going to do. I mean, I have the premise, the sense of the son in here, the little boy, he plays now the figure.
So, okay, Lucius.
Yes. So
because
the
I
character
remember,
Lucius,
I think I got an argument with you on or off camera that like Lucius is not his son. He was just a fan of him.
right? But I think she says the mother, Connie Nielsen's character, she says that he was like the weapon. This was your father's, something like that. So
Yeah.
maybe they slept together. I don't know, because it's weird because they talked about each other's kids here.
Yeah.
Oh, my son's around the same as your son.
Yeah.
Did you watch the regular version or the extended version?
What version was 2.5 hours long?
That was the regular.
That's what I watched.
I had the DVD,
Uh-huh.
the Blu-ray, and they have on that, it has both the theatrical and the extended version.
So how long was he extended? Like an extra 15, 30 minutes?
And about that between that time.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't seen the extended version because, to tell you the truth, and it happened again today when I watched it, there's always a part where I doze off or I get distracted or I lose focus. There's always a part.
I can see
it's
that.
like it's halfway in there. And I think it's like right around like he's about to fight in the Coliseum. It's like slow for some reason. And I dozed off, got distracted again here.
You know, and I've said this, like my ideal runtime for a movie is about 94 minutes.
Mhm.
And granted, watching this in one sitting can be done, clearly, and it's not bad to do. Could this been split into 2 movies? Arguably.
Could have been edited shorter.
Definitely.
The late Oliver Reed.
He played Proximo.
He died. Yes. Huh?
That was his character. He played Proximo. He was a slave
Oh,
runner.
I'm sorry. Right. I thought you said Maximo. I was like, wait a minute, that's no.
There was a lot of Maxes.
Yeah. But and Caesar's, obviously.
Yes.
But he died halfway through the shooting the film. His part, anyway. You can tell when he gives,
The keys.
uh, yes,
It
is a
looks like
little
he's
off.
like CGI'd in.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
And then like there's a when he's walking towards the jails or the cages, that's a body double. When he's about to get stabbed, that's a body
Mhm.
double. And of course, they shoot the movies. A lot of movies. I'm not sure how they did it here, but a lot of movies are shot in different order.
Yeah.
Apparently, they shot all his scenes. I don't know how they fixed it. I don't know how they did
I
it.
think
Maybe
they
they,
just like they shot the scenes with him and then like worked his scenes into like they just augmented the backgrounds to fit him in.
I
Like because
guess.
that scene did feel like the background was different, where everybody else
Mhm,
was like looked like it was on set, and that was the
mhm.
one that looked like it had a green screen or something like that.
Well, when he got killed, when he got stabbed, it was the same scene. He was talking to Maximus at before he goes to fight the guy with the armor
Yeah,
and the
and
tigers.
he goes shadows and bone, or is like shadows and bone is the quote, right?
I couldn't catch what he said.
It was the same line he gives Maximus at right before. He's like, "We're nothing but shadows," and it's gonna bug me now.
Well, think
I
about it
think it's
later.
like shadows and bone or something like that. Mm-mm.
Well, I mean, regardless, they reused that scene or that ending because the characters in the back is not the assassins.
Yeah,
This movie was good. I mean, it did had a good pace. Joaquin Phoenix killed it. He absolutely killed it in this. And you have like so many great stories going here at once. You have the father who's going to die and his dilemma of where to leave his power to.
hmm,
He can't give it to his son because his son's a spoiled brat. He's
yeah.
like one of those. He's like one of those fathers who has a spoiled brat in the business, and he's going to retire. He knows he can't give it to his son. He has to, like shit. What I'm going to do here, and then he gives it to someone who could have been his son or looked at him as like a son. Then the real son feels betrayed.
I kind of considered it like I was for some reason I was thinking of Kung Fu Panda, and I was thinking of the main villain from Kung Fu Panda one, the first one. He,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Tong Lao.
Tung
Tong
Lao.
Lao.
And
Yeah.
he was raised to be the champion. He was raised for the honor, but he was denied it, and then he turned.
Do you think that Commandus, what his name is? What was Joaquin Phoenix name?
Commodus.
Commodus. I'm terrible with these names, so
We all
God,
are.
I know it. But Commodus, like he looked spoiled. Like he trained and he was good with weaponry, but you know that he's just the prince, if you will. And who's gonna hurt him while he's training? You
True,
know what I'm saying?
but
Because they're
he
all standing there like taking turns attacking.
well, here's the thing. Like he explained it like actually very well when that moment when he confronted his father. He's like, I have attributes that can be considered virtues, but none of them are the virtues you value.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
is that
because
and
they're different because the way his virtues falls also into line of greed, of
potentially
power.
like, but
Right.
here's the other thing. His father says like your failures as a son is my failures as a father.
Mhm.
First of all, I said that's a horrible thing to say to your son. His son was basically telling him like I have never been good enough for you. I have been a failure. You have literally called me a failure in front of you. You sent me a letter. You have never once praised me.
Mhm.
And his response is, your failures are a result of my failures.
But
Still no praise.
true, well, the thing is you can see a little bit that he's still spoiled. And what happens? What does he do?
Well, he kills
He
his father.
well,
Yeah,
not just that, his father is proven right.
absolutely. I'm saying there was that moment where his father could have basically made it so that the movie wouldn't exist. He's
Well,
like,
of course, yeah.
I would have burned the world if you had told me you loved me once. Basically, he would have been Penguin. If his father just gave him that little push, that little
Mhm.
motivation, he
Right.
would have just done whatever his father would have done or whatever his father had asked him to do.
Mhm.
Yes, he is manipulative and he's not Maximus.
Right.
There's been points like after he took power that members of the Senate said, yo, he's a lot smarter than we all give him credit to.
Right, but that's in a way of controlling the masses in the sense of like he's just
True.
you give him who's that the girl, you give him cake
He's
and
giving them a
like
distraction.
the father also noticed that like the daughter was a better candidate to take to be the heir, but it wasn't approved or
It wouldn't last in their kingdom, like for her
well, it's
to.
because as a female, they didn't see
Yeah.
a female leading.
Hmm.
You know, it's all by men. But
And
she
Maximus even
had
told her, he's like, "You're a survivor." He's like, "You're gonna do
mhm,
whatever you need to survive."
right. The quote that you just gave. Also, there's other quotes. Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
And then
the shadow bone is actually shadow and dust.
oh,
He's like,
that's what
"We
he
are
says. Okay.
but mortals. We are shadow and dust."
On my command, unleash hell. But there's like other
Oh, right at
quotes
the
too
beginning.
that
Yeah.
yeah. There's other quotes out there, but those like the one you did, it's like the Princess Bride quote. Hello, my name is
Inigo Montoya, you
you
killed
killed
my
my
father.
father. Prepare to die. Yeah, it's like so it's kind of like the same concept in a way. But that's a great scene. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about great scenes, the great moments, the delivery of that, of him taking off the helmet, him showing his face.
Well, I mean, like originally he kept his face hidden
No, of
because he was
course.
going to plan to assassinate, and then Lucius shows up and he plans not to assassinate the
Right.
emperor in front of Lucius because
Well, he was
once he
going to
does
walk
that,
away.
yeah, he was going to walk away.
But he was also going to assassinate him or attempt it with a spear when he was on the horse.
Oh yeah, there was plenty of moments where he was tempted to do it.
Oh, do you know, real quick, we're jumping around, but you know, the original hand position for live or die is actually up for dead, down to live.
Actually, no,
Yeah.
no, I found an article. I don't remember where, but it was saying that position came from a painting and was done wrong, where the position is like you want them to live. That's like unilaterally just let them die. If you want them to live, is up or down. Basically, because there's so many people in the Coliseum and they're so far apart, it's just
Hmm.
easier to see
Hmm.
if a thumb is up or down in any position
Okay, here
rather
you
than
go.
we fact checking one of us.
I'm fact checking. So I just put in Gladiator's thumbs up, true story. In
Mhm.
ancient Rome, a thumbs up gesture was a signal for a gladiator to be killed,
Okay.
while a concealed thumb meant the gladiator would live. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes. So concealed means that this thumb wouldn't show.
Right.
Okay. So a thumbs up could be up, down, as long as the is visible.
Here's another one. According to Anthony Corbeil, a classical studies professor who has extensively researched the practice, thumbs up signaling killing a gladiator, while a closed fist with a wrapped around thumb meant sparing him. There you go. I was wrong. I was partially wrong.
I'll take my wins when I can get them.
Okay, so again, one of the greatest moments for me is his exposure
Yes.
of letting it,
It's a really good
letting
scene.
everyone. Yes, such a good thing because you see Joaquin's like face like just like evaporate, like he just like the energy just leaves him.
Yeah. Wasn't
Joaquin because
he
he did
nominated?
possibly I can't remember at the moment.
Mm.
But I know what I like about him too is like you see him Joaquin that is that like he's losing sleep either because of he's partying too much and he's like living the lifestyle that he gets from having the power that he has or that he has like burdens that he's putting himself on.
I thought it was because, especially after Maximus appears, he's feeling that the crowd is turning against him. His
Oh, definitely
people are
that.
turning against him. He's not winning the people that he wants. So it's like that thought of like being a failure potential, and then the betrayals of like people starting his side, especially after his sister. He finds out about his sister.
Right. But I think it's before that. I just because
It was a
before
little
that,
bit before that, but I think it was like building up.
his eyes are getting like he's getting dark circles
Hmm.
under his eyes, it's like that. It's getting a little ghostly.
It's the stress.
Well, yeah, but he's not really like ruling the kingdom. He is just living the lifestyle even more so than he had.
Yeah.
Like I said, because all he wants to do is watch the gladiators fight. That's pretty much what he does. He doesn't want to take care of business. Remember when they had the Senate meeting? All he's doing is twirling his sword on the ground like he's bored. He wants to be entertained. He wants to be distracted. What about you? Do you have any great moments?
That is a good moment that you called out and would have been one of mine. I would also say the beginning of the movie, very little prep time at the beginning of the film, and then it goes right into one of the best war battle scenes I've seen in a long time.
Mhm. Well, we see like in the beginning, there is a little prologue in a sense of what's happening,
True,
and
but
we get right
it's
into
not
that.
that long. A little bit of prep discussion, then it
Mhm.
goes like on my signal, unleash hell, then, and then it just goes right into it.
True.
So it's kind of like really sets a tone of how he is as a fighter, a general, and like a commander of his own people. How he
Mhm.
can bring that trust to them. So I
Well,
kind of
he's
like
been
that for
yeah,
setting
he's
apart.
revered. He's respected every time he shows up.
Hmm.
His soldiers are there. They call out his name. They smile. They feel like they're in good hands.
Exactly,
They're like in like Allstate.
like a good
But no, like
neighbor.
when he enters a room, people notice him. He's
Hmm.
that kind of person. That is a good scene. And the dog too. I'm surprised we didn't see the dog again. Because you remember the dog, like when he leaves, like unleash hell. He leaves with the horse. The
Oh
dog follows
yeah,
him. The dog follows him.
yeah,
Attacks some of the
and the dog
barbarians.
saves him at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But I was like, Shane, well, like that dog didn't show up again.
that
It would have
dog
been
was
kind of
just a
cool.
random dog, just happened to be there. Maybe it was on the extended version. I don't know.
Possibly. What about action scenes? I had trouble with some of the action.
Was
I,
it because like the camera movement?
yes,
Yeah, I can
yes.
see that. I
Some
was I
like
was okay with the action myself, but I get what you're talking about because okay, like the scene where they're supposed to be reenacting one of the great battles of history, and
mhm,
he's like, "If you want to live, we need to work together."
right,
He's like,
right.
"Any of you work in the army?" That moment, and
Yeah.
then he kind of flips the table for everybody, and
Uh-huh.
they're all riding chariots except for him.
Yeah.
That scene jumps around a lot, and you kind of lose track of who's who, except for like
Mhm.
the ladies that are in gold.
Which I'm probably surprised that had female fighters back then, but okay.
I think they were supposed to represent Rome.
Okay, but I'm just saying female fighters, usually just guys. Like back in the day, like theater in the Shakespearean days, guys played women. I mean, it's minor. It looked cool. It looked cool.
I mean,
Definitely looked
and
cool.
if I remember my history right, gladiators weren't popularly known to fight to the death. It was a misnomer. It was more like UFC. They would fight,
Mhm.
but like you would lose your. It's like losing your cattle or losing your product relative because they were slaves. A lot of them were slaves.
Right.
So you would just lose your merchandise if they all just killed each other.
Mhm.
Especially like talking about what was it? They were supposed to do like 150 days of the Colosseum.
Yeah.
No one would have slaves. They'll all be
No.
eliminated.
True. True. But no, I mean, that is a good scene, but a little chaotic.
What
And that
about
one
with
I
the
didn't mind.
tigers?
There's a lot of CGI there. A lot of CGI there.
Absolutely.
But it was done good in some aspects, like when the tiger sweeps at him and he moves right out of the way without like noticing he's right there.
Mm,
But like if that tiger jumped on him, he would have been dead.
more likely,
It
or
jumped
severely maimed.
well, no, because the neck, the back of the neck was so exposed, and the tiger could have just that's what animals do. Dogs do it.
Well,
They
I mean,
go for the
tigers are they're known for like them, and I think leopards. They're like known for like attacking their prey specifically on the back of the neck so they can
well,
break the
yeah.
neck.
Well, no, not just break the neck, but that's the quickest way to kill.
Well, no, but
You
they've
control the
been known
body.
to like grab the neck from the back, and
Uh-huh.
then they actually do break the neck.
True, but what I was saying though, in a sense, like that's where you can control, especially in the back. In the
Absolutely.
front, the paws are there, in the back that you can't reach behind you. So he would have been killed immediately.
Ooh, the other
Plain.
fight scene that was very jumbled was the first time he fought as a slave. When they were right after they were tagged yellow or red.
Hmm. Hmm.
There was moments where I was like, I couldn't tell who was Russell Crowe.
Also, the "Are you not entertained?" scene. Like the camera was so close up
Hmm.
on the action, you couldn't really tell like what he was doing to the other guys. He was fighting one on one, one by one, like down like Daredevil did in the hallway scene. He's kind of doing that, and they're just standing there waiting for him. But again, the camera's like right. But the one with the tiger, and then with him and Joaquin at the end, which I think was a great scene at the end because there's really
It
no
was the climax fight.
yeah, but there's no music.
Hmm.
You see that he's struggling, like he's like at times passing out, like about to go see his family.
The Elysian Fields, like he's literally
Yeah.
he's on the edge of life. He's just clinging on long enough to
Yes.
take out the guy who
Yes.
took out his family.
Right. But it was kind of cool. It's kind of like it jumps into that first person shooter where you see your hand.
A couple of times, yeah.
Well, you see his hand open the door. They cut to him in the moment where he's like fading, and his hand does the same gesture, like he's opening the door, like he's entering the
Hmm.
afterlife.
Yeah, well, they show him walking up to the door or so forth like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
I have to say, I got emotional again. I did get emotional, even though I had some problems with this movie. I did get emotional in the sense of what he did, what he sacrificed, what he went through to the end.
yeah, because it wasn't like
It's
a
just like,
joyous journey.
oh no, no, this guy
Yeah,
suffered a lot. Like all he wanted to do, all he wanted to do was serve his Caesar,
serve Rome.
yes, yes, serve Rome, and then be with his family.
Yeah, and he actually turned down
Yes,
his king initially. He said,
yes.
but with all honors or whatever, he's like, I must say no.
Because Marcus was like, "This is why you should be.
Hmm. He's like,
You're
can
like
I at
you,
least think about it? He's like, sure.
not just Rome, but also his soldiers." He's like, "I'm worried about them. There's a lot of them that are hurt. They need to
Hmm.
be home as well. Blah blah blah."
And basically, like, if he accepted it, it would have ended up like this pretty much anyways, because Commodus wouldn't stand by it. The
Right.
only way he could have got away with it is if Commodus didn't kill his father initially, and
Hmm.
his father made a public announcement.
As he's dying, he tells his former best friend or close friend to release the slaves. The last command of Marcus Aurelius was this.
Yeah,
So he was able to serve his master's last wishes.
true. Which I also thought was like, I know his former best friend, emphasis on former,
Yeah.
was supposed to like follow orders because his
Mhm.
job was follow the emperor. He didn't know the plan of the former emperor, so
Right.
he was doing what was supposed to be right. But at the same time, that was your best friend, bro. Sometimes
Well,
you might have
well,
to
yeah.
draw a line.
He realized it at the end, and it was too late.
It was way too late.
Yeah, but he realized it at the end. Yes,
I mean, like, you
unfortunately,
couldn't, at the very least, you couldn't say like your wife and children would be safe. No, your wife and children will join you in the morning.
that's cold.
That's very cold. And plus,
And
the scene
oh, how did?
afterwards where they show the kid running up to the horses, because you got to imagine at that
Oh,
time that kid is drenched in like the military life in the Rome. And so he's probably thinking his father's coming back home, and he runs up to the horses, and the horses just road warrior him.
well, yeah, yes, but he's a Spaniard.
Yeah.
But there's no Spanish accent.
Does anybody have a Roman accent there?
Well, no, but I'm
No,
just saying. But
not
usually,
Italian,
but
not
listen,
Greek, not nothing.
right? But it's usually like British,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
how this was, or English. So yeah, which I find it hysterical. They like get it right. Oh, so he's racing, to the horse dies, trying to get to his home. His
Yes.
hair grows,
It was a long journey.
but his hair grows that much. His hair was like really like cut short and like trimmed, whatever. And then by the time he escapes and he's racing to his house, his hair is like a lot longer. Not that much longer. It's not like
Yeah, but it's grown like an inch or something like
yeah.
that.
I was like, that's
I thought that was feasible. I mean, like, even if it took like, we'll say a week, right? Some people have really good hair. A
I
week
guess.
at
I guess.
least to ride a horse like that. Yeah, it makes sense that the army will still beat him.
Not that the army beat him, but
I mean, they did. They got
well,
there way
yeah,
before
because
he did.
well, it's because while he's about to be killed, they're on their way to kill his family.
Hmm.
So he's like pulled away to the side. But I'm just saying that I just find that hair go long a little too fast in that sense. Like, and how does he know where to go? There's no Google. There's no Google Maps.
Well, they
There's
told him his
no.
family's gonna die. I mean, he probably knows how to get home at least.
I know. I'm just finding it funny. There's no map like that, but
It's
he
a
knows
straight
exactly
line.
what. Yes. So, what about faux pas? Well, for me, the hair thing is a faux pas on that. But what about any other faux pas you
I
think?
mean, I think the faux pas we talked about were like some of the action sequences.
The
Uh,
action sequences, yes.
yeah, but we can give, for the most part, we've seen worse, and that's actually
Yes.
fairly good
Yes.
considering.
I guess they did it in that way in the sense of like to represent the chaos
Yeah,
of a fight because everything's going off at once. You're not really sure what's happening. So I can scratch it up to that.
yeah, and I can get with that too. It's not my favorite filming tactic, but I can understand it. I'm gonna say I can't really put a strong faux pas on anything other than our little nitpicks that we've been having.
I would say the pacing
I mean,
goes
it
with a
does slow
nice.
down at times.
Yes, it slows down and it's like, oh,
Yeah, but I would
well,
say in comparison to some other projects we've witnessed in life, it's slowing down is nowhere. It's not a standstill. Like we've watched some stuff where, oh, that's beautiful scenery for no reason. Are we
right. Right.
looking at the
Oh,
scenery?
you're talking about like Zack Snyder's Crescent Moon, whatever that movie's called,
Oh, Rebel Moon.
where he freezes
I
when
wasn't even thinking about that one, but yes, that's a
he's
great
slow.
example.
He does a slow shot of wheat being cut.
And dropped and then slow
So
shot of everything.
do you think that the death scene at the end could have been better?
For who? Commodus or for Maximus?
No, no, not Maximus, but Commodus.
Was it vindication? Do we get closure by him stabbing himself in the throat?
Well, he doesn't stab himself, but he stabs him in the throat. But I'm just saying, for some reason, I think I would like to have seen him suffer more.
Of course. It's not like he didn't deserve it.
No, of course he deserved it. But I'm just saying, I think he would have been nice if he suffered more.
No, I think his death was suitable. He got what would have been the worst death for him. Not suffering physically, but the fact that he was out there to win the praise and the approval of his kingdom, of his people. He thought by eliminating Maximus, he would get that. And by the
Right.
very hero that the people have chosen, that who has rebelled against him, is the one to take him down. The man who, as he quoted, was loved by his own father,
Right.
is the one to
And
take him
then-
down. I think that is
Right.
more of a mental torture for him dying.
Okay. I couldn't help but think also of Avengers Endgame, where Tony Stark dies and
Pepper Potts?
yeah, she says to him, It's okay, you can rest now." It kind of happens here too. You can go see them now.
Yeah.
Go to them, meaning to his family.
Just to quote another good line, and this line actually summarized the movie, in my opinion, right before Commodus underhandedly stabs Maximus in the lungs. A general who became a slave, the slave who became a gladiator, the gladiator who defied an emperor. Striking story, but now the people want to know how the story ends.
I think that part of that is also one of the advertisements.
Oh, probably.
For the
It probably
movie?
was, yeah. But they probably just heard it in the screening. They're like, perfect. It has a great line for the advertisement. And yeah, only a glorious death will do. It could be more glorious than a challenge with the emperor and himself. That is literally sums up the entire movie.
True. Also, am I not merciful when he yells at his sister?
Yes.
That's I think improvised.
Probably. I mean,
I think he was supposed to say it once. He did it again.
his relationship with his sister was very cringy. I understand it's like again, like comparing to Game of Thrones, that he had like that thirst or want of his sister, not just for like support, but for other reasons.
But you saw that in the beginning.
Exactly. But she just kind of brushed it off.
Right.
And like now it's to the point it's like, you can't say no.
He's forcing her. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So to go back onto Rotten Tomatoes with a score of 80% by the critics and 87% by the audience. Where do you see it?
87, 88. I think that's actually a really good score for it. I mean, it holds up. Whatever CGI we saw really was negligible.
For me, I'll give it a solid 90, even though I did doze off at the same spot. I always dove off at the same spot. That it still holds up. Again, the acting is phenomenal. The music, it goes so well with the movie. This movie is worth to own. I am going to watch the extended cut, see what they added on, and they explain some more things. Maybe it's some of the deleted scenes.
I heard
They
there's
cut it
like
out.
3 alternate versions of this film. So like,
Really?
yeah. So like there's the
Wow.
extended, there's theatrical, and then there's probably like some kind of director's cut or something like that.
Do you own it?
If I do, I don't remember. It's probably in a box somewhere.
Okay. But you can currently stream it on Paramount Plus, like you said,
Yes.
or you can purchase it. I know it's like you can buy it for $5.
That's
if
not
you
a
don't
bad
have-
price.
No. All right, guys, that is our throwback review of Gladiator. Have you seen it? What was your favorite moment? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Until next time, will be the next time. I'm Angel.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant of the true emperor. Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife. And I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. I don't know why I sound like Liam Neeson.
Thought your name was Adan.
Not this time.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.
Liam Neeson. I have skills.